Hey everybody, welcome. Glad you're here. Look at those beautiful smiling faces. See old friends, new friends, and soon to be friends. It's great to be with you. It's fall of 2019. I am embarking on perhaps the most profound journey of my life. I'm walking the ancient El Camino de Santiago across southern France and northern Spain. 500 miles, 790 kilometers. And I'm walking solo. But I'm not alone. For with me on my backpack is this banner of Mei Mei, who is my granddaughter. Mei Mei was diagnosed when she was 9 months old with cerebral palsy. She can't walk, and so now she's 4, so I'm walking for her. And we passed through the majestic Pyrenees Mountains, and we came to these wonderful, beautiful vineyards in Navarra and Rioja, some of the greatest and most legendary wine regions in Europe. We walked on this red dirt, and out of that dirt rose these beautiful green vineyards, perfectly manicured. You could see them reach to the sky, which was bright blue, and the sky just served as a bit of a canopy over protecting and illuminating these beautiful vineyards. And it just so happened that we were getting near the harvest, just 2 or 3 days from harvest. And on those vines were multiple clusters of grapes. I reached down and plucked a berry from a cluster, popped it in my mouth. The sweet taste of liquid sunshine. This is perfection to me. This is home for me. And as we continued to walk from medieval village to medieval village, and we were always around our fellow pilgrims, and whether it's lunch in the evening, at cafes along the way, at restaurants, just around the albergue table, I noticed that everyone's having a great time, enjoying their experience, and they're drinking copious amounts of wine. But I suddenly, and over the course of those few days, I observed that they didn't seem to know anything about these wines or the wine regions. And these are legendary wine regions. And to me, that's missed opportunity. And we all hate to miss out on the good stuff. See, this is, to me, is like going into a wonderful historic museum like the Louvre in Paris, and only going to the cafe and having a cup of coffee and not exploring the treasures inside. That's not good. But then as we continue to walk, there was one moment that brought all of this full circle to me. Because for me, it's culture is more important than the language when traveling and just understanding any country or any place where you travel. You see, culture is a language, and in the Mediterranean, culture is food and wine. And that is the language of the Mediterranean. So having some understanding of that can only enhance your enjoyment and your experience. And this really became obvious to me in the beautiful historic city of Lyon. It was a Saturday night, it was day 21. And on that night, I just wanted to have a little alone time. The Camino is all about reflection and just enjoying that reflection. And I decided to have dinner alone. And I found a restaurant, had good ratings, and so I was there at 9 o'clock when it opened. But as you know, in Spain, they don't have dinner at 11 o'clock at night. When you're on the Camino, though, you are up out of your hotel or your albergue, wherever you're staying, bright and early before the sun rises. So it's to bed early. So I'm there sitting at a table for two. I ordered some food. I had some wonderful big plate of wonderful succulent Serrano jamon, the ham. And I also ordered a bottle of red wine produced by a master winemaking genius, Raul Perez. As I am enjoying my simple dinner, a gentleman walked by, which turned out to be the owner of the restaurant, and he looked at my bottle of wine and pointed to it and said, "Do you know that wine?" And I said, "Do you know Raul Perez?" I said, "Well, I know his wines and appreciate and respect his winemaking ability." Well, this led to a conversation about wine and the Camino, and for several minutes. And then suddenly one of his kitchen staff summoned him away for some crisis in the kitchen. But before he left, he turned to me and he said, "Bill, when you are in Lyon, my restaurant is your home." The next morning, as I began to walk, I picked up my backpack. As I often would do on the Camino, I would talk to May and said, May, come on, let's get going. We've got 25 kilometers to go today, or whatever it may be. And I began to recall that conversation and what he said about home for me. And I had said to May as we were walking, I think we found our new life mission, our purpose. We are going to help people enjoy wine more and guide them through this incredible, vast world of wine on earth. And it was then that the whole idea of the Vino Shepherd was launched. See, for me, wine bridges the space between us. It opens up doors. It's like a passport. Opens up the doors to a multitude of surprising and wonderful and glorious experiences, including relationships. See, wine, I believe, is a path to more and better relationships. It connects us. Imagine sitting around a table with friends, family, or even strangers. And on that table is a display of beautifully prepared food with a multitude of colors: red, green, yellow, orange, purple. fabulous food. Wonderful aroma, enticing aroma. And in the center of the table is a bottle of red wine and or white wine. After all, whether I'm talking about wine or people, I refuse to discriminate on the basis of color. But here in the middle of that table is that bottle of wine with all of that food. Because you see, wine connects the food. It forges that food into something extraordinary. And it does the same thing with us, whether it's with others or it's with ourselves. And isn't it the most important thing in life? Relationships? Well, wine is that path to more and lasting and better relationships. And remember, the best glass of wine is always the one in your hand. Buen Camino, and good night, and thank you very much.